All right. Okay. Good evening. We'll get started. Okay, good. So as usual, what we're gonna do, let me just do a very quick check here. Everything's fine. Okay, so as usual, what we're gonna do is let me bring all the slides. Okay. Um, what we're gonna do is to summarize what has happened in the previous week. Okay, go through some of the events that you want to pay attention for this current week. We'll look into the charts and share with you some opportunities to take note of, and then we'll end off with a little bit of Q&A, okay, and wrap up the session for the weekly market analysis. So quick disclaimer, of course, everything we cover over here is purely for educational purposes, and of course, all analysis is my opinion. So make sure you're aware that trading and investing involves risks, and you have proper techniques in managing it. Yeah. Okay, good. So with that said, let's take a look at previous week. Okay, so previous week, if you still remember, I mentioned it's generally a quiet week, not much of an event. The only one we had was actually more important is RBNZ, and nothing much of a surprise, right? The expected data is 4.25. The actual data came out exactly it is. Not much of a move for that particular event. And from there on, generally nothing much. Okay, so overall, last week was what we experienced as a consolidation week. Okay, so you just basically need to be patient, and wait for the opportunity to come to us. Okay, now looking at this week here, it's a transition into a new month. So naturally, on the first Friday of every month, we have the NFP data. Together with that, on this Friday, we have the Canadian labor market. Okay, so that's where we have the unemployment rate and the employment change. Most of the time, what I've experienced in the recent few months or even last year or so, Canadian data is a little bit more exciting to be trading as compared to the dollar. Okay, so this is something to note as well. Okay, so if you're interested in this Friday's volatility news trading, then I think perhaps the cat, right, will be more interesting to keep an eye on. Other than that, if you take a look at what we have building into Friday, we have the US Core PCE Price Index on Thursday 9:30, just before the NFP. Personally, I feel that this is very important, okay, because if you go and study a bit on this, why is this important is because again, this is one of the primary inflation measures that the Fed actually look into, right? Core PCE Price Index. So right now the market is expecting a 0.3. Previous month was 0.5. Same thing over here as CPI. If the actual data comes out less than 0.3, there's a good chance that we're gonna see the dollar weaken. If let's say the data comes out, higher than 0.3, maybe 0.4, 0.5, there's a very good chance that we're gonna see the dollar strengthen from there. Okay. So this week, primary focus is gonna be dollar, core PCE price index, and of course potentially the Canadian labor market. So mainly on like the later part of the week, Thursday and Friday. Okay. So with that, let's take a look at the dollar index. Now this current part today, right now, we are seeing that overall this is still developing as a potential three-wave structure. Okay, so from a forward time frame perspective, I'm actually still holding a bearish point of view to potentially see this as a 5-wave structure from this very top, right? So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Today we did get a little bit of a push down, but right now it seems to be pulling back a bit. Monday market are usually like that. It's generally more quiet. It's a little bit more choppy. Monday market are seldom a genuine move. Okay, so you just want to be aware of that too. So if you look into like lower time frame, perhaps on the 1 hour chart, okay, what can happen over here is we kind of get a break of this low. But of course, the market is pulling back now. So what can happen is this does a bit of consolidation. Perhaps tomorrow it just continued down. Okay. So overall, I'm looking for sell opportunity in the dollar. Okay, mainly for the dollar index, at least for the short run, right? At least towards this level here around 104.60. Now, most of these major pairs might not give you a very clear sign of opportunity. We do have a bit on the euro as of today, again with that break. We have a very nice impulsive break. So again, if we can get a consolidation by tomorrow and a continuation, then this trade will be done. Okay, basically a breakout trade, a potential target here, ideally by tomorrow or Wednesday, we should see this trade done, and we will just get out of that trade around there because this can then mean a U-turn. Okay, so for now, from today's perspective, as of now when we are conducting this, these are not opportunities anymore because this is more like in the morning you can get that break, but right now it's not that interesting anymore. So I'll drive I'll bring the attention, I think, more towards those that I think still have a chance for you to keep an eye on, right? And that will be dollar Canadian. So on the 4-hour scale, right, what I'm seeing over here is potentially this can turn into a bigger 3-wave corrective setup. And right now we can still look to capitalize on this last little pushback towards 3580. Okay, so that might be a little bit interesting, perhaps I would say on the 1-hour scale. Okay, so if you go down to a 1-hour chart, we are seeing a little bit of a consolidation today. If you can get it a little bit more tomorrow, and potentially looking for a breakout to the upside, that will be a short-term play. Okay, so keep an eye on that. But once the market kind of move higher and come back towards this top of the channel at 3580, that's where you really want to be very, very careful, because there's a good chance we're going to see that reversal back down. Okay, so short term upside for the dollar CAD, definitely interesting to catch that on the lower scale of things. And then once it tags 3580, you want to be looking for targets in terms of if you're buying, take profit, and then shift your position perhaps towards looking for a sell. Okay, so dollar CAD definitely this week you want to keep an eye on. And then we have the dollar franc. Now dollar franc, to give you some perspective, we're back at the previous low, so pretty much a significant low, right? Hasn't really been broken yet. So you want to really look out for a potential bounce, or I would say a buy setup, until the market break it. So as long as it's not broken that low, just focus on potential buy. Okay, obviously not now, but if let's say the market were to develop into a crawl pattern over here, then we have this even as a mini double bottom, and that will be a very, very nice trade to the upside, right? Perhaps a breakout will do the work. So this one here, dollar related, suggestion is to wait until Thursday and Friday, which is in line with our core PCE and potentially the NFP. Okay, so give it some time. As I mentioned, if this is gonna be a crawl, you probably need to also be patient anyway. So until Thursday and Friday, that will give you a decent trade. Okay, and then just look for a break, okay, for that confirmation to the upside. Okay, so very, very clear structure, very clear opportunity. Just wait for it to develop. Wait for the setup to come to you. So those are the majors. In terms of the yen, I think Aussie yen is something that is setting up right now. We have been looking at this for the past 2 weeks, and we're basically just waiting for it to come down towards this zone. Just today, this market, we had it tag around 9235. We have a pretty decent reaction as of now. So definitely on this, we're expecting a bounce back, potentially towards this level here, right? Kind of 9708, 97 area. So how to capitalize on this? What you can do is you can wait for a 1-hour chart, wait for a tiny bit of a flat continuation here to look for the trade, right? So we kind of get a very nice V shape now. Suggestion here is give it until tomorrow London session. If you can see this, you have that trade up. Okay, so again, very clear structure. We have been patient on the Aussie yen for a good couple of days or even up to weeks. Right now is the time to start paying attention on that. Okay, so the direction is upside. If I look at the daily, you can see why also very clear. We have this trend line. The market is still basically supporting it. We can't bounce at the bottom. We have this daily consolidation, so we expect upside, right? Probability is there, so keep it on that. Again, another one here to pay attention to this week is the euro pound. Okay, so we're kind of back at this zone, right? Again, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4th time, not able to break. Very similar to the dollar franc. Unless the market break below that, we're still going to be looking for a buy. So same thing over here. Go to the 1 hour chart. We can't get a very decent push up. Okay, so all you need is again a flag, and you take this trade up. So this week, I think just from today's perspective, there are quite a bit of clear structure, right? Like euro pound, dollar franc, very obvious where we are right now. You just want to wait for that setup to come to you. That's the trade to take. Okay, same thing here on Aussie yen. We have been waiting for this. Now we are at the area. We kind of see a little bit of a bounce. Wait for the correction. That's where the trade comes. Okay. Pound New Zealand. We've been looking at this also for quite some time, right? We are waiting for this to go back up. To be honest, there are many ways in which this can develop. Of course, we're still expecting a simple 1, 2, 3, right? And then this would then look for that trade at the top. Alternatively, right, just to show you what can also develop, okay, this can also be kind of the consolidating triangle setup, okay, which in this case here will build up into a B, C, D, E, and oops, okay, A, B, C, D, E. Now, if that's the case, then what will happen is the market will probably not go any higher, and you can start falling from where we are right now, right? So this completes that triangle. Obviously, we won't know for sure which pattern it is. Is it going to be a simple flag, or is it going to be a triangle? No trader would know. But what you can then do, of course, you can then project, okay, if it's gonna be a triangle, perhaps you can, start preparing some kind of a breakout entry area. So in the event that the market, for example, in this case, doesn't really go higher to complete that 1, 2, 3, you can still ride on it on the possibility of a triangle, and if this just starts to drop impulsively, at least you can still catch that breakout. Okay. I see a question over here asking, is there a confluence for a triangle pattern? Not really, to be honest. Again, there are some guidelines like 786 for a fib for each pullback. But again, that's not like a very decent. I would say it's not something that I would personally look much into, right? I mean, there are some guidelines from Elliott Wave and say that for every pullback is about 786, right? In this case, you can see that. Yeah, but to me, it doesn't mean much, right? Because the visual look of a triangle is basically like that. I mean, you don't really need a 786 to look at a triangle, right? So this is on Pound New Zealand. Again, the structure is clear. It's just about the setup coming to you. Okay, so this one to look up for it. Other than that, right, in terms of FX, I think these are the 4 or 5 most obvious one: dollar Canadian, dollar franc, Aussie yen, euro pound, and pound kiwi. Right. Now some of you obviously are more interested in gold. For me, gold here today, we had a little break, but after that it come a pullback. Almost coming back to where the initial break is. So overall, I think it's still bullish because this is a very nice little bounce. This might be doing a bigger consolidation before that next move up. The directional bias is still up, it's still bullish. It's just more of like this piece here is it ready to go? What can it develop into? Obviously, it's not the clearest right now, but this can still turn into maybe what we know as an expanding flat before that push possible. There's of course also the possibility where this can come down all the way to retest before that bounce. Again, it's all about probability. Right? So right now for me, based on what has just happened as of today, right now at this very moment, I feel that gold is not very clear. So my suggestion is just give it time, right? Every time something is not clear in the market, I always say give it time, eventually it'll be clear. Okay, so that's what happened on gold right now, just leave it. Okay, and then we have S&P indices. Nothing much has changed for the couple of weeks. We are basically still riding on this overall channel. Basically, I'm still expecting more upside, yeah? So over here, if you're into the indices, I think if we can dip back a little bit towards this area at 3955 to 3970, that will give you a good opportunity to look for the buy with the target around 4130. That will be also a very nice confluence at the top of the daily trend line. Okay, so this one here. So while the equities has been making quite a decent bounce higher, you just want to be cautious as we come back to the top of this trend line. You know, whether we're still going to see another drop back, nobody know for now. Okay, but if you're trading, then just ride, you know, the moves along the way. If you're long-term investing, then just don't be overly confident that the market has bottomed, because this can still eventually reverse and come back. Alright, so that's on the S&P side of things. If you're into crypto market, Ethereum seems to be building up something as of now. Okay. We kind of had this break, but after that it kind of came back down quite impulsively, so we kind of need to revise the entire analysis for this little portion here. Structurally, I don't see any change, right? I mean, this can still be seen as a pretty corrective nature as a whole. So as long as the market maintains above this, right, we're still expecting upside. But of course, okay, crypto market do carry more risks, more volatility in the market. So whenever you're trading on any coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even alternative coins, just be aware of the risk involved. Okay. So yeah, that's a little bit on the Ethereum side for those of you interested. Okay, so that's basically, those are, you know, a very quick summary on what we are looking at for this week. Okay, and that's again the objective and the intention of our weekly Monday session, to again bring you through some of the potential setups that I'm personally looking at, some of the things to take note of to help you prepare for the week as well. Okay, good. Okay, so I hope so far so good. If you have any questions, feel free to type it in. Okay, I'll do a very quick closing note over here, to share with you some of the current promotion that Zenfinix have. And from there, you know, I give you some time to type your questions, and then we'll answer those questions after that. Okay, so over here, so today's session, right, the Monday session here is also sponsored by Everything Trading, okay, and of course their partner here is Zenfinix. So very quickly, just to share a bit in terms of the current promotion, from November going into December, what do they have? Okay, so for those of you who are fairly new to Zenfinix, okay, they're a trading broker, and currently they're running a promotion where if you decide to register an account, get your account verified, and then make a small deposit, right, depending on which tier that you deposit. If you make $100 deposit, you'll be credited an additional $88 bonus, and therefore you have a total of 188 to help you to allow you to trade, right? So you have more than $100 of margin that you can use to trade the market. If you actually deposit $200, then you have an additional 96, so that makes it to 296 margin that you can actually use to trade. And of course, $500 over here, you get an additional 140 credit bonus. Okay, so for this, for those of you who are interested in finding out a little bit more about Zenfinix or understanding their platform, or want to find out more about this bonuses, feel free to reach out to them. Okay, so again, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link below in the description. You just click it. It directs you to the WhatsApp on Zenfinix directly, so you WhatsApp them. If you're watching on Zoom, the link is also there in the chat. Just click on that link. You can WhatsApp them. Okay. They do have some other features for their clients as well. For example, if you heard of Financial Source, which is a very powerful platform for fundamentals, audio squad, sentiment aspect of the market. Okay, they do provide that platform for their clients as well. If you're familiar with equity, okay, which allows you to look at some trading signals that's generated based on statistics, they do have that platform for their clients as well. So if you want to really understand a little bit more of all this, just feel free to reach out to them. Okay, they'll have more information to help you on that. Good. So let's see some questions I'm seeing coming in, right? So someone is asking about silver. We'll talk about that. And of course, okay, over here, for those of you who are still not aware, we do have a Zenfinix Trading Dose Telegram. Okay, so this is where every day I'll be posting one chart to just give you some insights of the market and share with you some opportunities on a daily basis. Okay, it's free, so if you like to just scan this QR code, it'll direct you to the Telegram channel, and then you'll be able to join. Okay, and then you can see all the posting inside it. Good, huh? Okay, so with that, let me answer the questions that we have over here. One of you is asking about silver. Okay, so let's take a look at XAG. Now, silver over here is slightly different from the overall chart that we see on gold. Okay, to be honest, over here, silver does present a bit more of a bearish opportunity that might form in terms of a 1, 2, 3, maybe a double top and then a sell. Okay, or maybe a bigger consolidation, that short-term sell, and then after this can go up. Okay, so for me, silver is slightly different from gold. Gold, we're still mainly holding on the bullish bias. But to me, silver chart here presents more of a sell opportunity. Okay, if let's say we can get a crawl towards 2224, potentially a double top, we'll look for that sell with a target at this bottom. Okay, so that's my view on silver. Okay, nothing complex, quite straightforward. It's just that I'm not too inclined to be selling the precious metal, therefore my focus is not so much on silver but a little bit more on gold. Okay, yeah, I hope that clarifies it. Okay, good. Okay, so from here, I think let me also drop you the dates of our future webinars with Zenfinix over here, so that you can at least jot it down into your calendar first. Yeah, I mean the title, we're still working on it. Okay, if you have suggestions, feel free to let me know. I'll prepare on the title. But the dates are tentatively fixed. We're gonna have one on the 15th of December. Okay, this one here is gonna be on a Thursday, and then the other one is gonna be on the 21st of December, and that's gonna be on a Wednesday. Okay, so this will be the last two webinars that we're gonna have for this year, 2022. Anyway, we're going into December already. So yeah, if you have any suggestions for the topic and the content that you'd like me to cover, feel free to either let Zenfinix team know or let me know, right? So from there I can prepare a little bit. No promise that I'm definitely going to talk about that topic, because if again I feel that it doesn't really fit into a webinar, I'll probably not really touch onto that. Okay? Or maybe if it's just a question, right, then it's not worth turning into a webinar, then obviously it wouldn't be a webinar. But feel free to put your suggestion in. Okay, again, if you can, we'll definitely cater that into the sharing session. Okay, so the timing over here is gonna be in the evening. Okay, so both of this is likely gonna be from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Malaysia time, so it's GMT plus 8. Yeah, so do write this down into your calendar first, right? The content will be announced and the title will be announced soon. But if you're someone who is interested to learn more about trading, then make sure you're available on this 2 day. Hey, so that's all from me for today. Hopefully in today's short and precise sharing, you get to also find out some of the opportunities to help you prepare for the week ahead. Okay, yeah. So all the best to your trading. Gentle reminder to manage your risks. And again, for those of you who would like to find out a little bit more about Zenfinix, feel free to reach out to them via the WhatsApp link that's already included. Okay, so with that, I'll see you guys in the next session itself. Bye.